good morning and welcome to the Digital Weather Desk, powered by Century Next Bank. I'm Jared Floyd. Happy Friday, everybody. Our initial forecast this morning mainly focused and centered around temperatures as we head into the upcoming weekend. As we go through the day, we'll obviously look at different parts of the forecast, although there's really not a lot of sense in looking at the rainfall forecast simply because a lot of locations won't see a lot in the way of rain. And if we do see the rain, it will be quite isolated. Good morning, Uncle Dennis. Hopefully you're having a great start to your morning in South Louisiana. Again, a reminder that today's morning's forecast made possible by United Way of Northeast Louisiana and the United Way 211 initiative. Between charging your phones and prepping your kit, save 211 as your disaster helpline. It's a free call 24/7. Look at morning lows this morning, and these are, again, unofficial because I guess there's still an opportunity for us to drop a degree or two, but as the sun rises, obviously, that's not going to happen. Good morning, Susan. Janet, thanks so much for joining us. Janet joining us from Crossett this morning. And in southeastern Arkansas and Ashley County, probably between 68, 69 degrees, 65 in El Dorado, 65 in Camden. Those are our unofficial low temperatures for the day. A look at current temperatures, and most of us really have only climbed maybe a degree or two, or actually pretty much holding steady. 71 in Monroe, 65 in El Dorado, 69 in Bastrop and Monticello, 70 in St. Joseph and Gina, and 70 in Winfield and Alexandria. Dew points are starting to climb back up there a little bit. Staying on the warm and muggy side as we go into the upcoming weekend. Heat index values shouldn't be extreme by any stretch, but most locations will be pretty hot and humid as you head out to high school football games tonight. Look at Futurecast, and most of us, again, aiming for daytime highs in the mid-90s this afternoon. And along with that, and a very isolated sprinkle can't be completely ruled out. Of course, Futurecast made possible by Bayou Power Sports, I-20 Frontage Road in Monroe. If you go back to yesterday, if you saw my late post yesterday evening, the isolated little bubble-up showers and storms, not reliable enough to really throw in the forecast at all. So that's why the rain chances will remain at 0. If you do run into a brief shower, consider yourself very fortunate, unless obviously you run into the scenario that we ran into in portions of West Carroll Parish yesterday, where that one little lone isolated storm we were talking about during the evening live stream, 4:45, 5 o'clock, actually produced some wind damage, some minor structural damage, some tree damage, things like that, probably some 40 or 50 mile an hour wind gusts with that storm. And it was quite isolated, and the eyewitnesses that sent the reports said just as quickly as it moved in, it moved out just as fast. So, again, keep that in mind as an outlying possibility for any one location, probably most likely along the Mississippi Valley as we go through the next few days. As we go into today's Saturday, Futurecast kind of advertising that same thing, just a little spotty speck of rain here or there. I'm going to keep the rain chances at 0 simply because, again, we can't rely upon it. Can't really say it with any certain degree of confidence that it'll happen. So why throw it in the forecast at that point? Some areas just may be somewhat pleasantly surprised, again, unless you get a stronger thunderstorm. Most of us will probably still land in the mid to upper 90s for Saturday. Sunday does not look much different, nor does Monday, nor does Tuesday, as we continue on this very stagnant pattern. Upper ridge of high pressure, we talked about that for the last few days. That's being amplified. There's a weak storm system to the east. There's one to the west, so we're just kind of sandwiched in the middle. And with that is that expanding ridge of high pressure providing sinking, compressing, warming air. Nothing happening on the surface map. And we're on our way to what should be, again, a quiet 5 days, maybe 7 days, again, across the region. Check the tropical development, and we are now up to a 40% chance of development with a wave that's exiting the coast of Africa. Again, this time of year we have to watch everything, but the current general trajectory of this system does not necessarily favor it heading toward our area or the Gulf. Again, that's something that we'll watch, but as that's what we do during the Atlantic hurricane season. And also a reminder that your tropical forecasts are made possible by Russell Moore Lumber. Not just lumber. Check them out on Desert Street in Monroe. Go check out their barbecue seasonings or just their breakfast sauces. Again, good stuff on eggs. Anyway, look at forecast highs for today, topping back out in the mid-90s. Again, if you're heading out to a high school football game or if you just have Friday night plans of any sort, be prepared for it to be pretty steamy well into the evening. Overnight lows tonight will generally fall back into the low 70s or upper 60s. There were a lot of upper 60s sprinkled in this morning. I can't necessarily say with a high degree of confidence that we will hold on to the upper 60s as we head through the weekend. And then Saturday probably even ramps up a little bit more as that ridge of high pressure starts to kind of reassert itself and really flex across the region. Look at the 7-day forecast. Not a lot of good news there. Had 10% rain chances in for Thursday. Went ahead and took them back out for now. Daytime highs will stay in the mid-90s, morning lows upper 60s to near 70 degrees. So, again, if you're heading out and about, not only today but tomorrow and beyond, make sure that you keep a bottle of water handy. Sunscreen's probably not a bad idea as we head through the next several days. Still a busy Friday here. We will have the Too Long Didn't Read coming up in just a little bit. We'll have your midday forecast, football forecast, Sterlington and Rayville, Neville and Calvary Baptist, Ouachita and Wassman. ULM is off this week. Tech is at home against New Mexico State. Grambling is at home, and Alcorn State is in Stark Vegas, as those kids would say in Mississippi State. We just call it Starkville. That's where they are, and that's where they'll play this weekend. Anyway, have a great rest of your Friday. I'll catch you around midday and be checking for the rest of that content as we go through the rest of the day. Enjoy your Friday.